All right, so up next we've got Seth Kimmel from Skysight. We're going to be learning about how Skysight is generating synthetic data. So, Seth,
Is it
whenever you're ready.
this mic? Okay.
Yeah, you can use both mics.
All right. I'm gonna just try to show you something cool we worked on. Maybe you'll learn something interesting. Maybe not. So I'm the founder of Skysight. We focus exclusively on offline inference use cases. So think batch, typically large scale async inference. We're building a tooling and infrastructure for this. I'll get to that a little bit later. But we often use synthetic data in our own examples. So for a talk kind of like this. And we also help other companies create synthetic data. It's a big use case for sort of batch inference. We've found that generating synthetic data with LLMs is easy, as you all may know, but generating diverse representative data is hard. If you're a data practitioner, maybe you sort of understand this. So we sort of had an intuition a few weeks ago that sort of like in traditional numerical machine learning, you have the concept of seeds, and they're useful for either reproducibility or sort of heterogeneity in ML models. So if you set the same seed at the same thing, you run inference, it'll produce the same thing. So in language world, we actually need to do something kind of analogous. We need to create prompt seeds that are sort of language seeds that can be used ahead of a prompt. Maybe you've done something like this before. The first time we did it, it was sort of like a MATLAB style for loop over for like a code gen exercise. But we realized that you can sort of do a lot better, and there actually may be reproducible ways to do this as well. And generally speaking, if you want to create the right representation of synthetic data, then it's important to sort of sample from the right input sample distribution. That should sort of make sense for the stats folks in the room. So what's like a generally good sample distribution for language? It's probably humans that speak that language. Okay, so the plan here, we're going to generate 1 million synthetic humans, and they're going to tell us 1 million unique things. We can use the same LLM, basically, to do it with these prompt seeds. Pretty straightforward, actually. We basically sampled from just a handful of actual US demographics. So age, gender, location, city and state, occupation category, annual wage, those two sort of tied together. We used a strong reasoning model, a QWQ32B, to generate the qualitative sort of descriptors for each. This is 2.4 billion tokens worth of descriptions, so it's pretty large scale stuff. And then we use some smaller models for actually doing the sort of property extraction, basically creating more like columnar data set with specific properties. And you can kind of see here what I mean by sampling from the correct sort of distribution. So this is the ages that actually wound up resulting between 18 and 100. We capped it at those ends. So basically just like a quick sense of the pipeline. We use like the actual, on the left, the actual demographic data and a random ID generator. We sampled 1 million inputs from this very large sample space. Took 1 million rows, passed it into our batch inference SDK, which runs sort of super efficiently on a very large scale. Generated the 2.4 billion tokens, did the extraction, wind up with the data set. Yeah, quick plug on what we do. Again, just to be clear, so we build sort of batch inference infrastructure. It's super cheap, often 10 times cheaper than the real-time providers in apples-to-apples examples. So if you sort of are doing things like synthetic data generation, evals, structured data extraction, classification embeddings, et cetera, maybe come talk to us after. Can probably help you out with that, especially if it's a large-scale thing. Yeah, we built our thing super easily with our Python SDK. I would, not the most exciting demo. It would just be a progress bar sort of at the bottom, but we'll have like a UI soon. So here's like an example of like what it just kind of means to go from these sort of demographics to actual personas. On the left, you can sort of see things that we deterministically sampled over, so 3 of our different humans. And then on the right, like one of the specific like columnar sort of descriptors of this human. So demographic summary you see, challenges, education. I'm not going to read them out, but maybe it's big enough to read. And then finally, the data set. So we actually just put the whole synthetic humans data set on Hugging Face. It's 1 million rows of data. Licensed for research and commercial reuse. There's 1 million, 50K, 10K variants. We would like to see people trying to use it to do sort of this representative sort of prompt seeding, would be really interested in hearing from folks if it works well. If you want to use it to full scale, it's probably actually super easy to use on our platform, so just come talk to us after. There's also this like a small addendum of this idea of synthetic respondents going on, actually just like asking the million humans like marketing and advertising and research and political questions ahead of like actually fielding some kind of campaign. That's also probably useful for this. We may have a demo at some point later on with that, but I just wanted to sort of bring that up in case anyone was interested about that. And we're looking for more design partners, so just come find me after this or email team@skysight.inc, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks.